Oh my gosh, guys, I think we're live. Welcome to the Online Hangouts, or our Crafty Hangouts with OnlineLabels.com this month. I am so excited to be doing my first Crafty Hangout, and hopefully there will be many of these through CraftyHangouts.com, and our sponsor this month is OnlineLabels.com. So I'm so excited to be testing out these labels today, and I'm trying a new microphone, so let me know what you guys think about this, and what you all think about this live, like in my studio, just chit-chatting with me. Type of like talk, and would you like to see more of these podcasty type stuff and different stuff like that. So what we're doing today is we're doing party ideas with labels. So what a lot of people have been doing with these labels are designing stuff through online graphic programs and stuff like that, and putting parties together and whatnot. But what I really want to do today is use them in a way that probably people aren't using them as today. I want to use mine as stencils. So I have used, many of you know that I work with Sizzix on a weekly web series, and I just love using their stuff. It's amazing, and I would not want to use any other die cutting machine out there. So the Eclipse 2 is my favorite electronic cutting machine. So I've been cutting out some of the 7.5 by 10 labels, and we're going to use them as stencils today. A tip is when you're running them through any die cutting machine, a lot of the mats that I've tested, the backing doesn't really want to stick to it. So I've added just some yellow duct tape from Scotch and added it on here. It's making everything dark. Isn't that funny? It's my studio lights. But anyway, so what you want to do is the main image comes out, and you can use this again as you can color it. The kids could do something with it. I was thinking maybe like baby showers. They could just stencil some stuff onto some napkins or some baby onesies, and these would be really cool to use. So that's what I'm going to talk to you all about today, is this one, and I'm going to show you some other ideas that you can do too. I cut out another one. This is a heart one. So I'm going to remove the middle from here. I like to cut mine at pressure 9, speed 7. So that's what I like to do, and I just want to show you. You can remove this Scotch tape really easy, especially a lot easier if you're not holding it in your hand like I'm doing. So what I'm just going to do is I'm going to move down to my other camera angle and work from there right now. So let's just go ahead and move this down. I love recording on my webcam, and I wanted to show you all how it was so cool to do this. So what you want to do is just remove this right here, and then we're going to remove this one right here. And that's just extra to keep it positioned down. That way, when you're cutting, it doesn't move all over the mat. So that's just a tip. So we're going to fill this up, and I'm just going to work with the heart right now. And I'll talk to you all in a second about what I like to use to paint with for fabrics and different stuff like that. So I have this scrap piece of fabric because I just want to do some samples on the show today. So here is our label, and we can just peel up the label just like this. You could cut it down because you don't need exactly the whole label to do just this, but I'm going to leave it today. And you can iron your fabric, but you don't necessarily have to. And there is some static on my end, so I'm going to unplug this microphone, or unplug it where I can hear from it, because it is driving me crazy. Anyway, that's part of the fun stuff to do with live video. And what we're doing now is we're going to show you some of my favorite fabric paints. This is what the main stuff I like to do when I'm fabric painting. I like to use Tulip Soft fabric paint, all kinds of different colors and sizes and whatnot. So blueberry is one of my favorite blues, and I love to use this true red. So since this is a heart, I'm going to use a red today, and I don't know if I have enough paint in here actually, but it's okay, we'll make it work right. And I'm just going to put it on I would use a paper plate or something like that if I had it laying around, but I do not know where my paper plates are. I think we used them for our 4th of July party, so oops. But I'm just going to put out a little right here and take a foam brush. Now these foam brushes, I love to use them, and they're only like 25 cents at the craft store. as you see, I'm just daubing some paint in here, and you don't want to stroke. Now you can stroke in here if you want to, like this or whatever, but when you're working with stencils, you want to go from the outside and daub like this. So this is a really easy way, and can you see that the onlinelabel.com labels work great with this? I found that they work great with fabric, and they come up easy, they go down easy, and they stay very well. So they have all kinds of different products. They sent me some transfer sheets, some iron-on transfers that I cannot wait to get started and use, so I'm definitely going to be having fun with those. But let's just have fun and just paint this, daub around here. But when you get into the inside and get around away from the edge, you can do whatever you want. You can do strokes, you can dab. Now, I love to create the creators of the tulip fabric paint. They have specific daubers that cover a lot more area than regular foam brushes, but I'm out of those for the moment, and I just knew that most of you all would have these foam brushes on hand instead of the daubers. But they're really cool, and they can hold a lot of different paint. So I don't want to use a lot of paint on my brush. Notice I'm not going in that big I'm not going in this big area of paint. I'm going in the smaller area of paint and just daubing here. And then after I'm in here, I like to daub because it gives the same texture, but you could also brush it on, and when it dries, it's really going to be pretty much the same everywhere. You won't see all this texture of the daubing or the brushing or whatever. So that's one of the fun tips about it. And I'm just going to continue going around here. Try not to get any paint on your fingers, because I like to hold my fabric during this process, and you do not need to have little red fingers because it'll get on the other places of your fabric. So now, after you think you have it covered, make sure you have it covered. And what I mean by that is taking some paint and going in the spots that you can still see some of the fabric and stuff like that. So I'm going over here a little and different places. This would be great to do with kids at vacation Bible schools, or, you know, for your next party or whatever. So after that, make sure there's no paint on your hands. And I got some on my thumb, but it's dry already. So I'm just going to remove the label. Now watch how easy it is to come up. And now you have a great stenciled piece of fabric. I love this, and what I forgot to do was put something on the back of it, and I like to use poster board, which I'm using now, but that wasn't planned. But I really like to use just some cardboard, so that's what I really like to use too. So be careful about that one. At least it wasn't my countertop, right guys? But here's a sample, and we can do more of these, you can do less of these, you know, whatever you guys want to do. So that's fun. But I want to show you guys some samples that I've made previously. So I work with Sizzix on a weekly web series and do fun stuff with them, and we've made tons of these using labels and different stuff like that. So let me grab it. It's under here. So one recently I made was taking the label and cutting out a monogram. So it was super easy. And look how nice this bag is. You could do this at your next craft party with your other crafting friends, and just cut out your labels and do these on tote bags or drawstring bags, or you know, anything that you could think of. And then I actually made this for my good friend and co-editor of our website, alittlecraftyyourday.com, Courtney Chambers. She actually asked me to make this for her. So it was really easy to make, and I love the monogram. And you can find, if you're wondering how to make these monograms, go and search for like a monogram generator, I believe, so you can find out all the information on that. So that's easy, and then you can just take some dots, stencils. I love using the, let me see here, what I like to do is, another cool thing is take the, let me see which labels that is. There's one set of labels that I love to use with hole punches. So it is the, let me see, it's the standard white matte again, but it's the 2.675 by 2 inch ones. It's these right here. What I like to do with these, as I'm about to show you in a second, I lost my placement here. Uh-oh. Live. I love doing Google Hangouts, but sometimes I could be a little bit more organized. So what you do is you have all these little labels on here. Here, you can see this better. You get all these different labels, and what you do is take a you want to take a punch and punch these out, and then you get another stencil. So let me show you all what I mean by this. I rip it off the edge because you don't want that excess paper of these, because you need to get in with your punch. But if you don't want to use a punch, you can always use your electronic cutter or another cutter that you might have, like the Sizzix Big Shot or anything like that. So here it is, and I didn't get in there enough, but watch this. So now you have a circle stencil, and that's what I used for the bag to make these awesome blue polka dots. And that was really easy. You could add more or less polka dots. That's really fun. So it has been so much fun sharing with you all these ideas. I want to share with you one more, which is one of these shirts that I made. Now this one's a little bit wrinkled, but it's really fun. And it's just a deer. I really like this shirt and wear it quite a bit. And you can take on a bigger online label. I made this one a little bit bigger, so I might have used another label or something like that. But these are so much fun to use with making stencils and doing stuff like that with fabric paint. So the possibilities are endless for your next party. And if you're wanting to do these, I've did these on napkins. I printed out this smaller deer. Let me show you right here. And I would love to see these deers on like a boy's birthday party napkins or birthday party hats, or something like that. That would be really neat. And I just love sharing all kinds of inspiration, and you can sort of take that to the next level of deciding what you want to do it for. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and here's one that I could totally see on a napkin or something like that. And it's as simple as this, just like we showed you before. Let me clean off my area. I have so many labels around here because they're just so much fun. And I have another piece of fabric that I'm just going to throw on here. And you don't even have to really iron these too bad, because the adhesive catches it and holds it. So it doesn't really matter, and it's really nice. But you just want to put it on to your napkin or whatever material you're using, and go to town with it again. So here it is again what it would look like, and you would just want to take your fabric paint onto it. So that's really easy, and that's about it. You can have fun making your own labels and designing these on the internet, and taking SVG files and cutting them out with your electronic cutting machine. So if you guys enjoyed, for more crafty hangouts and find some more stuff what you could do with onlinelabels.com, be sure to check us out at craftyhangouts.com. So if you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye! Okay, so now I need to know how to figure out to end this broadcast, but I think I can do it. I love how I can just talk on these hangouts. Normally I would edit something like this out, so you guys know what I mean. But I'll talk to you all later. Bye!